Welcome to Author's Ideas, a production of JR Global, an MJR production. This series is based on the recent Oxford University Press published book, Global Business in the Age of Destruction and Distraction. As a part of their Global Business series, Gaurav Rastogi joins J.R. Klein and Mahesh Joshi in examining and exploring the disruptive nature of today's world, and introduces ideas for learning how to cope with disruption and remain relevant. Here is your host, J.R. Klein.
As we continually dance with this disruptive technology, today we think about the inevitability of change. As availability of technology has enabled it to become disruptive and distractive through the speed of which it developed, availability and access far exceeds human and cultural mechanisms to adapt, much less understand the technology. The interactive nature of this fast-moving freight train has three basic elements. They're simply humans, technology, and culture. Though this conundrum seems overwhelming because of its proximity, it is not a new concern. It always has been disquieting every time large-scale technology changes happen. Mary Shelley's 1818 novel, Frankenstein, told the story of a monster created in a laboratory of gargantuan size that tried to fit into human society but was shunned. As a result, it seeks revenge on Dr. Frankenstein. The story was written about the same time as the primary research in electricity and speculating about its adaptation in the general populace. Electricity was the unknown monster being created. It was new, it was different, it was mysterious. How might it reshape society and come back to haunt humanity? The idea of technology running amok with a vicious cycle of destruction has been around forever. Technology has changed culture, sometimes rapidly, sometimes affording time to respond. The difference in this phase is that technology has always had a momentum of its own that at one time could meet humanity face to face. The momentum of today's world is moving at a pace far greater than ever before. It always takes culture a while to catch up. Getting back to electricity, when electricity was launched, it took 46 years to reach 50 million people, which was roughly a quarter of the population of the United States. It took airline travel 68 years, television 22 years, mobile phones 12 years, the internet 7 years. The momentum is becoming faster and faster and faster, with Facebook taking 3 years, Pokemon Go taking 19 days. Tesla was founded in 2003 by a group of engineers who wanted to prove that people did not need to compromise to drive an electric vehicle. A Tesla owner with a car in the garage can go to bed and wake up the next morning with an entirely different car in the garage. Tesla just pushed an update to the vehicle that enabled it to become an autonomous driving car. The counterpoint of the destructive nature of technology is the way it has shaped culture. Think of something like the microwave. It's a relatively new invention. At its launch, it was a curiosity and something that you might see at an exhibition or a trade show. The initial reaction was it was an interesting device, but it would never replace the stove. As it began to get into the market, consumers began to recognize that it was much more than just convenient. It was a lifestyle changer. Time at the stove has changed from 3 times a day or maybe 3 times a week, with leftovers in the refrigerator available to heat up at a moment's notice. People began to get TV dinners and eat in front of the television set. Culture evolved around the technology. Next episode, we'll think more about this change and look at some cultural buffers.
Thank you for listening. If you are interested in more of the author's ideas, look for their Oxford University Press published books on global business, wherever books are sold. If you are interested in contacting the authors, they can be reached at info@jrglobal.co.